Good morning students. Once again I welcome you all in this online session of biology. And students, as you all know, we are discussing about natural resources, the resources which are naturally available to us, but we have to take care of them. Now in this biosphere, what are the three spheres which make this biosphere? That they are the lithosphere, atmosphere and hygrosphere. And in the previous classes we have discussed about the atmosphere, that is air, everything about it till the pollution and effects. Then we have discussed about the water, that is how it is important, the pollution, hydrosphere, right, the water cycle. Next, now today the third part, the third component of biosphere, that is lithosphere, the land, it means the soil. So today we will discuss all about the soil. Although like the water and air, you must have the previous knowledge about soil also, but still in brief we'll just brush up your knowledge, right? That is how soil is formed and all. Fine. So the very first thing, that is the formation of soil. How it is formed? By the weathering process. You must have studied in science as well as geography. So the soil is formed by the breaking down of rocks on the surface of earth by physical, chemical and biological processes. That is the process of weathering. Fine. Now, how it happens? The sun heats the rocks during the day and the rocks expand, and at night the rocks cool and contracts. This causes the rock to crack and break into smaller pieces, because if something expands and contracts regularly, so the cracks comes. Now the water enters these cracks in the rocks, and when this water freezes, it expands. You know, it expands on freezing. So it expands and causes the cracks in the rocks to widen and break into smaller pieces. Now this flowing water carries the rock pieces. These pieces, they rub against each other and they become smaller and smaller particles. Now strong winds, they also affect these. They also break the rocks into smaller particles and carries it from one place to other. The wind, the water, they both are the carriers. Carriers. The roots of large trees, they grow into the cracks in rocks and they also break the rock into smaller pieces. Lichens which grow on the rocks, they produce some substance which cause the rock surface to powder and become soil. So this is how the various factors are acting to make the rock convert into soil. The water, the air, the lichen, the trees, all are acting on the rocks to convert them into the soil. Now regarding the composition of soil, composition also you have the knowledge. The layers of soil, it is a mixture of rock particles, decayed organisms, that is humus, the topmost layer. Then living organisms, they also live in the topmost layer. Minerals, deeper, air, water, all these things are there in the soil. The amount of minerals, humus, air, water, they are the factors which decide the biodiversity. Now what is biodiversity? The living organisms, right? So these things in the soil tells us the biodiversity. If it is good enough, the humus is good enough, plants will be there. If water and other things, nutrients are there, then the animals will also come to eat the plants, right? So these factors tell us the biodiversity of that place. Now again, the very common and easy topic, the soil pollution. That is pollution of the soil with the harmful substances, contamination with harmful substances which affects the fertility of the soil and they kill the diversity of organisms. That is called the soil pollution. Now it is done by using fertilizers, mainly by excessive use of fertilizers and pesticides, the most common thing. It kills the organisms like earthworms and bacteria which make the soil rich in humus, right? And the removal of these useful components and addition of other harmful substances, they reduce the fertility and causes the soil pollution. And for prevention, we should not use these artificial fertilizers and pesticides. Instead, we should use the natural one, that is manure, okay, which does not affect the soil's fertility, the natural. Okay. Now coming on to the next thing, that is soil erosion, the carrying away of soil particles from one place to other by flowing water or wind. That is called soil erosion. The main reason for soil erosion is the large scale deforestation, because trees, the roots of trees hold the soil. So if trees won't be there, they will not hold the soil and the soil will be easily carried away.